drawing or some kind of an idea of what it's going to look like?
No, I have no idea. All I do is I start by making the incisions, and those, whatever comes out, will dictate the next step. You know, there's a critic, an art critic and philosopher named Ortega y Gasset, who said something very interesting. He said, there is the I, me, there is the I, red, there is the I, water. And what he meant by that was that the moment that something comes to be, the moment that you have a child or you place a color on a canvas or whatever comes into being in the universe, changes the entire dynamic for everything around it. So that no longer the creator is the one that dictates how it should be, but it tells the creator what it is and how it relates to everything else. And I really believe that's so true, because the moment that I make those carvings, if I brought out green here, well, that'll tell me that I need to, in order to make this composition pleasing, I have to have this same pattern or green in another part of the composition. And that's just the process of that I use, and I think that that's what all artists probably do. The name of this particular piece is La Pasada.
For a viewer, how do you explain it to a viewer? Okay, it's called La Pasada. It's about the border. So, how would you explain it to somebody?
Well, you know, what's interesting is that I've had several of my acquaintances and friends who grew up and who are from the border area, and I tell them I created this piece to express my experience in the border. It really surprises me how emotional they become. They see this piece and they start crying. It les remueve, you know, it moves all of those feelings. In
so you don't have to explain it.
I don't think I have to explain it, because somehow it just affects people in a really powerful way.
When you say La Pasada, and all the ways that people cross the border, you know, and they're going around and around, and some of them, of course, get lost and die because they lose their way. It's so in the composition, you've also kind of put it all together under the different panels, right? Because there's 12 panels.
That's right.
Yeah, 12 panels. You put them together through these lines, right? And then describing the border. I don't know if you can see it. 3 or 4 at least, but I know there's a lot more, where it has a stitching that you've done, like right here.
Right.
Right, where the scars, you know, and they're very raw, you know, very raw stitch to try and heal the wounds, you know, that people obviously suffer as they're crossing. And then the other thing you had mentioned earlier also was about how you don't mind people touch it, you know.
No, I love to feel it, and I think it kind of pulls you in and you want to feel it. I don't know how you feel, but many of the persons who have seen it, they say, "Can I touch it?"
Yeah.
And yes, I want people to touch it, because I think it completes the experience of seeing it. You see it tactilely, and that texture to me really tells you so much. I wanted to express this not only with paint, but with actual cutting into wood, which is of course something that was once alive, like our skin, and to me, I wanted to express it. I feel very gratified in being able to convey it, especially when I know that total strangers sometimes, you know, see it and they respond in that way. So I guess somehow I was able to convey, that emotion.